My name is Dr. Eric Wade. I'm an assistant professor of environmental social science at East Carolina University, and I'm also jointly appointed as an assistant scientist here at the Coastal Studies Institute. So I grew up in a very small village, inland Belize. So there are about 1,000 people now in this very small traditional fishing and hunting village in Belize. And so the village is surrounded by a lagoon. And so when I was younger, my friends and family, we'd go to the lagoon to fish. And so from a young age, fishing was a part of my culture and part of my background. And I came to the United States, did my undergrad in marine biology down the road at UNC Wilmington. And then went back to Belize to work for the government of Belize in their fisheries department. I was working a lot with coral reef ecosystems, and then I realized I did not like coral reefs as much as I liked people. And so I switched over to focus on policy implementation and stakeholder engagement. And so that led me to apply for a master's and PhD at Oregon State University, where I did my work on small-scale fisheries. Social science as a field, we're trying to understand human interactions, human behaviors, and we're also trying to look at that from multiple scales. So folks look at that at the individual scale, at the group scale, but also at the societal scale. And so social scientists look at how individuals make decisions, but also look at the groups and how groups come together to make decisions, and then we scale that up. So the focus of my research really tries to understand the human dimensions of marine and coastal systems. And so that's a very big umbrella, but I specifically am interested in how people make decisions and understand their behaviors. And so I look as well at the formal and informal institutions that impact how folks make decisions and their behaviors. I think for us to truly understand and move forward in understanding coastal marine systems, we need an interdisciplinary team. A lot of my projects bring together those interdisciplinary teams of not just social scientists, but also the ecologists, the engineers, to help us to understand these complex and what some would call these wicked problems. And so here at CSI, that has been one of the drivers of the work that we've been doing, right? Bringing together these interdisciplinary scientists. So I'm on a project right now with a physical oceanographer here at the Coastal Studies Institute, where we're trying to understand how the introduction of marine renewable energy in the state and what that means. We're trying to understand how it is that people can develop solutions to these problems that we're facing in marine and coastal systems. So coastal North Carolina offers a unique opportunity. There are many things happening in this region at the moment, and so it's a great place to be at the right time. And so in the future, some of the things that we're looking at is looking at the role of identity and place attachment for fishers and how that influences their decisions to continue in the fishing sector in North Carolina. So North Carolina's fisheries sector is aging, and so we call it the grain of the fleet. And so work that we have ongoing or in the future is trying to look at how your identity as a fisher and your attachment to place will really influence your decisions to remain in the fishery or to leave the fishery. At the same time, I think as more rapid changes happen to the system, to the marine and coastal system, we want to look at incentives for participation, incentives for engagement in fisheries sector within the state. And this is a question that is not only of interest for me personally, but also for the state, to try and understand how the state can motivate participation in the decision-making process. And I think lastly, something that is of interest to me is safety at sea. And so when I talk about safety, we're thinking about how fishers conceptualize safety and what that means for how they put into place practices on their fishing boat, but also when they're in the docks. And so those are some of the themes that we're really trying to explore in the future.